What's up, Nomad Nation? Welcome back to Nomad Gamers Podcast. Everything looks a little bit different right now.
A little bit.
A little bit different. We got four people on here today, and Godfather isn't
Oh,
with us right now.
he's not in
Where you
studio.
at,
No.
Godfather?
I am in sunny California right now. For obvious reasons, I can't say where in California I'm at, but I'm in California.
He ain't with us right now. He just wanted to pop on and say hi to everybody. So,
Now I got a couple announcements since it's gonna be on the Nomad Gamers page, and then I'm gonna have to pop off and go do some things.
all right, well, before we get started into getting the podcast rolling, how about you name off those announcements real quick?
All right, so Nomad Nation. I hate to say this, but I've been trying to find time to do Talking Tuesday and Thirsty Thursday on the road. That is not going to happen. I just don't have the time right now. So Thirsty Thursday and Talking Tuesday are on a hiatus until May 13th. May 13th, we will be back and we'll be doing what we do best. But until then, I'm sorry, but 12-hour days are just killing me. Until then, up there in that corner there, I got the old Crest Rider filling in for me for the Nomad Gamers. I will not have a lot of time to do Nomad Gamers either. I'm sorry about that. However, Crest Rider is a very good replacement for Godfather. He's very knowledgeable.
Someone say
So,
better.
Kind of look the
say
same.
what?
I said someone say better.
What's going on?
And you kind of look,
I'm half a country away and you're still giving me shit.
look the same, so it's not like we're going to be missing anything.
All right. Well, hey, gentlemen, you guys have a great episode. For everyone out there in Nomad Nation, peace and love. Godfather is out the door.
It was good to have a good update from him. It's
Yeah.
glad to see. It's kind of nice. He's actually getting sun and he's not so pale anymore.
I know he's gonna come back. He's gonna be a couple shades darker. It's gonna be great.
The question is will those shades be brown or red?
Red. They'll be red.
Judging
man.
from what I've seen over the years, yeah, red.
Red.
Red. Red.
Hold on, I gotta fix my hair real quick. It's all
Picture,
over the place.
dude. My hair looks like shit right now. I'm not gonna lie.
My hair looks great. I don't know what you guys.
Your hair does look great, honestly. I'm not gonna lie.
All right,
It's very
but
nice.
let's get into the intro real quick. For those who are watching us on Facebook, thank you guys for watching. Those are watching us on Facebook. Hit that like, hit that like button, hit that follow button. We are at what, 80 now for followers? We need 20
it's
more
like
before we start.
82 or something like that.
Yeah,
we
we
don't
need
need
about
that many
20
more.
more. We need about 20 more before we can start going live on Facebook, which I'm excited for that. I don't know about you guys, but I'm excited.
Yeah.
For those who are watching us on YouTube, thank you guys so much. We really do appreciate you guys. Please smash that like button. Please smash that follow button. If you want to be in the loop for when we post, hit that bell button. I believe that bell button's over by where Chungus is at, just below him. Somewhere right around there.
over here. In this area.
Those who are watching on my socials, I really do appreciate that. I put myself on those socials so that way we get somewhat of a live audience, but just a way while we're waiting for our other socials to kind of be online for us to interact with people that are watching. With that being said, welcome to the Shire. This is Crest Rider's first ever time actually sitting down and talking with us. You guys may know him because he likes to sit in the chat logs and give us comments there, but with Godfather being gone, instead of just me and Chungus talking back and forth to each other, we thought we'd add him with us. So welcome, Crest Rider. You got anything you want to say?
I mean, it's good to be able to actually sit down and talk with you guys instead of just trolling you on the chats.
Yeah. Yeah, I will say that. It's pretty nice to have you on here. I know. Where did
When you guys
think-
are having your
I think-
discussions, there's always something to add. So at least this way, I
Yeah.
can pipe up and actually add it.
instead of waiting for me to look down at the chat and go,
There is that.
and then try to butt in with those two talking and be like, actually, this is what Crush Rider is saying. And you have. I feel like, and I'm not gonna lie when I say this, I feel like you have more intellectual thought when you like say your comments. because you are like one of the most, I wouldn't say, you bring a lot of knowledge when it comes to actually talking about certain games, whether it be around the health of the game, whether it be the actual lore of the game, whether it be anything like that.
Your audio just cut out. I still got nothing from you.
Better?
Yeah, there you go.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine now.
For some reason, it got unplugged. It got unplugged from the audio jack. I don't know. I don't know how that happened. But no, talking about the video games, you have a lot of very great insight when it comes to talking about the industry, about the video game we're talking about, or just in general.
I see news
I really
articles.
do appreciate the cover.
Lore-wise, anything that I enjoy playing, I really dive in on. So,
and I will say this, just because we have you on air, and I know you and Chungus play it a lot, but I want to take both of your guys' take on what's going on with Monster Hunter Wilds. What do you guys think about it?
I mean, they're fixing performance issues and title updates.
Is it anything like
soon.
Worlds?
Yes. I mean, once you, I say to say it's not like any of the other Monster Hunters is, a lie in a sense. It's different in the regard of like certain mechanics, like stats new, makes it feel a lot easier. A lot of people are saying that this is a more streamlined and friendlier version of Monster Hunter, which it absolutely is.
It
and I
definitely
like
feels
it for that
friendlier.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
You're
it's the type of,
you were cutting out just a bit, Chungus.
oh shit, all right. It's a bit friendlier. Like it's the type of Monster Hunter that even you or God's father, or even like our buddy, which one? What does he go by? I can't remember.
CPU.
No, he's good at games. What's his name? God dang it! I'm trying to think of his handle, and it's not coming to me. He goes by GDS Dolphin or
The Amoeba.
Yeah, the Lone Wanderer. Yeah,
The Amoeba. That's what he goes by.
Yeah, he's not the greatest at Monster Hunter, but he does try, and I feel like he'd have a better time with this than he did with World.
What I will say is, I love playing Monster Hunter World. It's not like I didn't love it, but the whole playing it solo, I just didn't find it appeasing. I loved when I was playing it with somebody.
Now this one does bring crossplay into effect, and I had a little bit of experience with that last night because some of the guys that I'm playing with are on PlayStation, some are on Xbox, some are on PC. I'm playing it on PC. I have not had any performance issues. I am honestly befuddled by the reports of people having issues, but I also updated my drivers before I got the game and started playing, so maybe I dodged the bullets there by having updated graphics drivers.
They like right as the game launched. Sorry to interrupt real quick. Right as the game launched, it was like a week or 3 after the game launched. There was a driver update, and it fixed a lot of the performance issues for people. Some people still report stuttering frames, but other than that, everything's stable. From what I can tell from initial reports after that.
I haven't noticed any issues, but I do have a pretty decent computer. And I'm also not a snob on it where I have to have 120 frames or I start, screaming to the wind. It's smooth enough for me to get along. I'm getting in there. I'm doing what I want to do. I did run the benchmark before I purchased the game, which was, I think it was like 3 or 4 days into the game's launch is where I was able to pick it up.
The one thing I did hear, and I'm kind of sad about it because it was such a staple in Wilds, in World, not Wilds, was the whole going to the Palico in order to get your food. and they cook you
Yeah.
up this
They're adding a social space with the next title update that has that.
They're adding the gathering hub. Yep.
Yes.
Oh
Yeah.
man, because
Which
that was
is-
always cool, and like
That's
I thought that
one
was
thing I missed too. I'm not gonna lie. I miss Iceborne specifically. Grandma cooking me a nice, good like pot roast or something, so I can go and fight some Variots and whatnot.
Now-
I miss that.
There have been some serious reports of restaurants getting calls for the cheese naan bread that you'll see at some of the meals that you get invited to. They'll make that, and people have been going to restaurants and requesting this bread.
It's good. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it reminds me of like Dragon's Dogma 2, specifically with their animations for cooking and whatnot, which it was cheaper and easier for the devs of that game to just record people actually making them the food themselves to use as footage in the game. Very high. It's crazy. It's crazy how high detail it is. But
That being said, I miss my overly muscular cat putting a
Dude.
nice garlic or
Dude.
garnish on the top.
so good. It was so great. And I will say they have, in a sense, stepped up their animation game in terms of like the idle animations for the NPCs and whatnot. Because you'll notice that they don't have necessarily set pathing that they do. It's all randomized, so you can sit there for like 2 hours and the NPC won't do the same thing in the same order. It's pretty.
They do have tasks that they will perform around
Yes.
the camps throughout the day.
Yes,
And once in a while, they'll just leave.
it's like I love paying attention to games like that. Like the attention to detail is what I love, and it's the reason why I will always, like for Call of Duty, always say that 2019 is probably my favorite Call of Duty. Like it's changing to where that's like my favorite Call of Duty of all time. Not even like no nostalgia put into anything. It's just the amount of detail they put into that game.
animation wise, it was
Animation
great.
level, graphic level, it's just perfect. It's great. So like with Wilds, I legitimately love the animations, especially for the. How far are you along in it, Zanar?
Not quite through the post-game story, but I'm getting up to where I'm hunting the apex in each zone.
Okay, I didn't know if you got access to the quote unquote like end game tier of weapons, the 18 weapons.
I do have access to like the rarity 6 variants of them. I haven't gotten up to the 8 yet.
Okay, as long as you have like the base level, because when you get those 18 weapons leveled up max, like reinforcing the max, they are animated. Like legitimately, just go like looking at the way the weapons look. I think is pretty neat. Some people don't like the design of them, but I honestly like the tech look of these weapons. I don't know. I think it's the tech mixed in with the normal Monster Hunter aesthetic just really is pleasing.
Have they forgotten about the giant greatsword in Monster Hunter World that had literally a rocket on the back of it?
I didn't use greatsword, so I don't know. I didn't know that was a
The
thing.
charge sword is where it was at for me. I love the charge sword.
I've actually started learning how to use the charge blade.
It really,
I normally run sword and shield or hammer.
switch axe and fucking lance main here, dude. I'm sorry. I just love those two weapons way too much. Plus, with offset attacks, like I want to get into greatsword because you can guard and offset attack with the greatsword. So, that's looking appealing, man.
All right.
See,
Well, I mean, we could talk about Monster Hunter the entire time.
We
but,
really could if we wanted to. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I have not played Monster Hunter Wild. I don't want to be like just take myself off screen and let these two jabber at it.
You know, since you say this, we don't want to talk about Monster Hunter Wilds the entire time. I have some interesting news from Take-Two.
And what's
parent
that?
company for Rockstar. They have gone on record in stating that they will not release any marketing materials for GTA 6 until closer to the release date. So anything you see about like potential trailers or anything like that, don't even worry about it until we're like probably a month away from the release date.
Well, that's fair to know. That's good to know.
Yeah. But
The
good.
the
There's a
biggest
little
thing-
more to that. I wasn't. You're good.
oh,
You're
go
good.
ahead.
No, it's okay. It's fine. You don't love me anymore. It's okay. I get it.
I bought you a Lego set today. Calm down.
He did actually. That did make me happy.
What I was gonna say is, Tencent Game just came out and bought a chunk of Ubisoft, and now has a partial stake in anything related to Ubisoft. I think their biggest their biggest stake right now is an Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, and what's the other one? I forget the other one, but the big two were Assassin's Creed and Far Cry, and it was that's something big, especially for a U.S. market, because I remember the U.S. government wanting to like step in because I believe Tencent is a China-based gaming company.
Yes.
It's Assassin's
And-
Creed, Far Cry, and Rainbow Six.
Yep.
Yeah, Rainbow Six X coming out soon.
But yeah, they with the whole TikTok ban going on, and they're looking at going after all Chinese-based Chinese-based companies that can metal and stuff going in the United States. Tencent might become one of those things that become banned in the United States. So I wonder how that's going to play out with.
They would have to ban a lot of other companies.
We're
Yeah.
gonna lose
They're
a lot of our
bigger than
games if
everything,
Tencent gets
yeah.
banned.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was like. And the thing is I'm very surprised Tencent's able to do this, considering how big of a monopoly they have on the gaming market.
You gotta realize they're not. Oh, you know what? I'll let Chris Ryder speak on this. Go ahead.
I would just like to point out that if they ban Tencent, they're going to have a lot of people up in arms when Fortnite goes away. Because Tencent has a big stake in the background of Fortnite.
Really? I didn't know that.
Why do you think Fortnite came out the way it was instead of what was originally promised to be a survival game that got invaded every 2 weeks? Kind of like 7 Days to Die, only it would have been once a fortnight, which 14 days. Instead, Tencent got in there, and it ended up being a mission-based thing with microtransactions everywhere, a gacha game.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course the battle royale variant came out, and that all got thrown to the wayside. But yeah, Tencent had a big handle in the influence of that game's development.
I'd like to point out real quick as well for you, Fireball. Tencent itself, the interactive entertainment is what they actually go by, like the parent company. Not the parent company, but like the main. Anyway, they're a holdings company. They dabble in a lot of other businesses, so they don't necessarily count towards having a monopoly just because of how many things they're involved with.
Yeah.
And they don't necessarily own 100% of everything that they have a stake in. They just have stakes in a lot of different things. With that being said, they are huge. They are like
they get a big enough stake in there to have a voice, and then
Mm-hmm.
we're not going to take you over. We're just going to kind of just
Heavily
kick back over here with a recliner and a drink, and just be like, "Hey, do that over there."
Yeah.
Pretty much. They are, I think, the largest for video game vendors. I think they are the largest by market capitalization. But no, so they don't necessarily own a lot of games in and of their own right.
They just own stake in it.
Yep.
Yeah. I will say, with us talking about video games, I think we really need to cover this topic real quick and talk about Assassin's Creed Shadows.
I mean, yeah, I've played some.
I've haven't really played much, but I've seen a lot of gameplay of it because I've been watching somebody play it when I can. But I've seen nothing so far, but there's a few grievances within the game, but it's a great game. It has, to me, from what I've seen, is it has that RPG aspect, but it's not in-your-face RPG. It's kind of like, the way I can take away from it, it's kind of like Baldur's Gate 3, where you can play the game and you can play for like combat, or you can play for stuff like that, or you can have the RPG aspect of it and actually talk and do stuff like that.
I mean, yeah, because it's optional. A lot of the talking with the NPCs to get additional information that might help you in your mission or whatnot. I wouldn't say great, because there are some grievances that I have that are like not like it knocks it down a level or a point or two in terms of like grading. But other than that, just to give it an overall like score, that's like 7.5 out of 10.
I think
7.5, 8. it's really good. Story-wise, it's okay. Gameplay-wise, this is probably the most. This is this is one of the modern Assassin's Creeds that I actually enjoy, like thoroughly enjoy, and I'm talking like since Syndicate type of enjoyed, to where I want to put time into it to actually play it. It's decent. It's really good.
I do have a question. Are you able to switch back and forth between characters, or is this one of those where you pick a character at the start and you play that character all the way through?
You can switch back and switch back and forth.
Okay. No, one of the biggest things that I find really cool is with the samurai, the kick that he does, where he can just like launch shit with it. I find that really funny when it's used. Just and kick him through bamboo, and all the bamboo's gone now.
So when I was looking at the game, because I have it, but I haven't actually started playing yet. So in that respect, I don't have a whole lot to say. But when I was looking at the game, and particularly I saw a streamer starting to play it, and all I got was Ghost of Tsushima vibes from the gameplay loop, but now you have an acrobatic option.
Yes, dude, playing
because you can either just go in, just balls to the wall and do your thing with a samurai style, or you can turn around and turn into this nimble little ninja and absolutely just kick the shit out of everybody.
Yeah, the way I see it is like in D&D terms, you either run in like a barbarian or a fighter, or you run in like a ranger or a rogue.
The best type of, just to be contrarian, the best type of rogue is the in-your-face rogue. I'm not gonna lie to you. The frontline fighter, baby, inquisitive rogue, dog. I'm giving you shit a little bit, but also like it's genuinely fucking amazing what they've done with the gameplay, because it will appease to both audiences of old and modern, right? The people who do like the RPG aspect can actually play into it, and the people who like the stealth and assassination, sneaking around, the stealth is the best I've ever seen.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I gotta say this because I said this in the beginning, and you obviously didn't hear me, Godfather. But yes, I said you and Crest Rider do look alike. And he said you traded one bald guy for another. I'm like, yeah. If you wouldn't know any better, we could throw a name tag on this and say this is Godfather.
Got a little bit of an age lift, huh?
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I've noticed they said that this is the best stealth in the game. This is the best stealth almost so far within the last modern time of Assassin's Creed. The fact that they have options, then he would need to use my saying, Lamau, is what he just said. But
no, that's yours. I'm not stepping on your toes there.
No, the settings they have for, like, you can turn on one-shot assassination. You can turn on certain modes to like mimic old style Assassin's Creed, or you can keep with the new style. Or you can have a mixture of both. It just when we kept when we kept saying, this is make or break for Ubisoft, we weren't kidding. And so far, it's a make it so far.
They made it, and I've seen people who are like staunch, like, I don't like what they're doing in terms of like historical accuracy. Which, come on now. In terms of historical accuracy, Assassin's Creed has not been known to be super accurate. It's based
on historic events, but they create their own. Yeah, they create their sort of fiction with it. I mean, you really think? Hold on. You really think during Assassin's Creed 3 that Benjamin Franklin was making weapons for somebody? Or, we were talking with Leonardo da Vinci, or we fought the Pope?
That's a point I was gonna bring up. It's like the fact of like going further than just like in terms of like events happening like that, going on to the aspect of like people talking about, well, it's I know how Japanese culture, how seriously they take their culture and their history and everything like that. I get it. I understand. However, legitimately, every single Assassin's Creed game has in some shape or form gone against what people are it's considered the traditional like history and culture and whatnot. Like, to me, it would have been I'm surprised I didn't see people complaining about the fact in Brotherhood or in 2 where you're fighting against the Catholics. The Templars are Catholics. You are fighting against the church in and of itself. People didn't raise up in arms about that.
their whole thing with the
raising
history and the culture is that's the setting. They use that to create an environment in which to tell their story. Is it going to be 100% historically accurate? No, because otherwise all you've got is a walking simulator where, okay, at this time and this date, this person went up and did this thing. So now you need to follow that exact path or you get a game over. That's not what they're trying to do. They're trying to tell a story and let you have fun. And from everything I've seen, they've done that in spades.
Yes, especially harkening back to 3, with you playing as a Native American character in the American Revolution, which there were some Native Americans that fought on either side of the Revolution, but legitimately, people were not up in arms about that. That wasn't like DEI or anything like that. That wasn't like wokeness. It was literally, you're a Native American fighting in the Revolutionary War. I get people like, oh, that people nowadays like to complain about everything. That's all I'm saying. That people are too harsh and trying to make the games that it's not, because it's not political, and it is, but it isn't because it's not.
And that's like,
I can't say what I want to say.
Well, and that's the thing. You and I were talking about this off screen because we were watching a TV show. We were like, we can't have this kind of TV show nowadays because, you try to make a joke like that in this TV show and somebody's going to be upset about it.
Making everybody happy is impossible. Pissing everybody off is easy as hell.
Oh yeah,
it is. I know that.
I saw this one TikTok and I shared it with Chungus, and Godfather says Chungus be good.
I am. I stopped myself from saying what I was gonna say.
No. But I saw this TikTok, and Chungus will agree with me when I sent it to him, and it said something of like, "You find this racist, I find it funny. That's why I'm happier than you."
Getting overly upset about everything is an easy way of just burning out on everything. But if you just kick back and just find the fun in everything, life's a lot better.
Yeah, it's
just enjoy life. Like, not everything has to be an issue.
No, you don't have to be correct all the time when it comes to when it comes to things.
Exactly. Look at you. You're a prime example of that. So is Godfather, to be fair. I'm gonna die on multiple hills.
Yeah. Hey, with Godfather here, at least we don't have to talk about the one game.
What one game?
I'm not gonna say the name.
You mean the game that should not have been made?
Or should have at least been delayed.
I'm not gonna shit on his favorite game while he's not here to defend it. I'm not gonna do that.
Come on,
I'm not gonna do that.
Come on.
All right, professionals have standards, goddammit.
Come on now. Come on now.
I'm a professional hater, but I have standards. I'm not gonna go and fight somebody who's not gonna be able to defend their position. I'm not doing that.
So Sky News covered this about 15. They released this article about 15 hours ago, and they say experts predict GTA 6 will cost $100 and believes gamers will snap it up without complaint.
No, if it's $100, I'm not buying that game. You can fuck right off. I'm sorry.
Really?
A
GTA
base
6.
game version of GTA 6 for $100? Lick my taint. No.
Yeah. I mean, I got to agree with him on that. There's, don't get me wrong, a quality game deserves its price, and the developers deserve to get paid for what they've made. That being said, I got bills to pay, and I've only got so much money, so priorities got to go somewhere. And you give me a fun game that I'm going to get 100 hours out of for $50. I'm going to pick that over the $100 game that I'm going to get 1,000 hours out of, because you know what? I've only got so much money at a time.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I will agree to that.
Yeah, like that's crazy to me, because the standard has been $60 for I don't even know how, since before I was fucking born.
Ever since
it's been $60 up until
PS3 and Xbox 360, I think, was when the major shift to $60 came in.
Was it? Okay.
It could have been before that, like that's where I really remember it being a thing.
But even now, like for like 2 decades, basically, it's been $60, and now it's shifted up towards more of the 70 area, which
With-
is fine. I'm
with the
okay with
PS5
that.
and the
Yes, I'm okay with that if games actually, have better quality and release properly, like stable and whatnot. Like Monster Hunter Wilds,
You're lagging again, aren't you?
I know, I'm turning on the hotspot. Hold on.
Yeah, you're gonna go over to hotspot. Well, and that's like, it's so hard to, and this is something I feel like, if they increase the price again on video games, it's going to be very hard to try to justify the price tag for certain games, because there are some games out there that are not worth that amount, not
No.
at all.
other
And I don't
issue
want
is the shift from physical to digital.
Mhm.
Now you're going from the cost of making the discs, shipping the discs, and all of that being incorporated into the price of the game to now that's not there. People are buying games digitally for the most part, so all of that money that was being caught, into production is no longer as much of a thing, and it's ever more phasing out.
Void
on
says
top of the
the
fact-
irony is Chungus is closest to the Wi-Fi and he's having problems.
Dude, I know. What the fuck is going on right now? I switched to the hotspot. I'm doing better now. But I was gonna say, I don't want to. If Take-Two and by proxy Rockstar raises their base launch, like the base version, to $100, that's setting a standard. I don't want that standard set at all.
Well, and
That is too far. Like I can understand
Okay.
70, even 80.
Well, and this is the one thing I will say about it, and there needs to be some sort of like a dynamic pricing when it comes to certain developers or when it comes to certain games. Is, let's say for instance, they set GTA 6 at $100, but let's say they make Bully 2 and Bully 2 is at like 70, or like RDR 3 comes out and RDR 3 is at 80, or like something like that. I can understand having a dynamic pricing of it, because high demand, they're gonna be like, oh, high demand, this is something that like everybody is wanting, and I can understand that. But setting a base standard at $100 a game should not be the case. Having dynamic
and the
pricing should
thing
be
is,
a little bit.
Dynamic pricing is already here. It's the fact that they don't need to be charging this much, especially when they're going to make a shit ton from the microtransactions that they're going to be putting in the game. Let's be real here. We know they're going to. They have to. That's the industry standard right now. So once we see the shark cards and shit like that start popping up, they're going to make a shit ton of money. Don't gouge at the beginning, because you're just going to close it off for a lot of people initially.
Oh, yeah,
If they sold this, if they gave this game out for free, they would make the most amount of money possible. And I should explain that, even though they spent a shit ton on it, because of all the shark cards and things like that, they would be able to make up the money like easily.
You know what's going to be really great is the fact that we're going to get a restart on GTA inflation when GTA 6 drops. And things aren't going to cost like $5 million, $8 million alone in GTA Online.
Now the
That's
question
stupid.
is will GTA Online carry over into GTA 6, or are they
No.
gonna wipe it all and start
They've
over?
already-
We don't know.
They've,
Have
no,
we
no,
gone
no.
on record?
I think if I remember seeing something is GTA 5 Online is going to stay its own entity, and then they're going to start new. with
That is
GTA
fair,
6
because they're
Online.
gonna have a whole new map,
hmm
much larger map from everything I've seen.
However, if I remember correctly, and this is something that I remember us talking about it when we had our huge GTA spew, was, they take, like, what's the word I'm looking for? When they make, cameos. They make cameos back to, like, GTA Online characters. They make a cameo for Lester, or, they've got so much they could do when they bring out GTA 6 Online. Hell, like I said, there was a mission that I want them to do with GTA 6 Online, is where, you port over your online character, however, you can't play your online character. So, like, that being said, you play a new character in GTA 6 Online, but in one of the missions leading up to it, like one of the starting missions is taking out your old character.
So, just because I'm looking through to see, there's nothing stated about the online for GTA 6 yet.
No. Oh,
No,
okay.
I'm looking at Rockstar's like newsletters and everything. There's no statement from them specifically, even on Twitter.
But okay,
So that's why I'm like, again, looking away, like, and this is what Godfather was talking about with like speculation and whatnot being taken towards like the fact realm of things, because there's nothing stating that they won't let you transfer or anything like that. We don't know.
They're not going to get away with not having some form of multiplayer after the last 2 iterations.
Oh, no,
have
they're
had
going to have
multiplayer in some
online
way,
is
some way, shape, or form.
confirmed, but I just don't know if GTA 5.
I don't know if you're going to be able to port your characters over, or you're going to have all. Let's say for instance, you have every single business in GTA Online for GTA 5.
Well,
you're going to get that stuff back.
Well, no, not even that. Because let's be real here, they're going to make people start over even if you're able to transfer. That's how the storyline's just going to go. Let's be real here on that. It's just the fact of your character that you've put time and effort into transferring over, and it being recognized as like, oh, you're a veteran player or something like that to that regard. But
I kind of figure I know what you're talking about, because like in Destiny 2, they talk about if you played the Red War, you get a different dialogue when you're talking to Saladin than you do.
They call you the young wolf and all that. Hey, trust me, I know.
I know. Why do you think I brought it up?
Don't bring up my ex like that. God damn it!
I gotta bring up your toxic ex every once in a while because I know
Monster Hunter does the same thing. If it detects save data from other games, you unlock usually some kind of customization option.
Yeah,
and it may do the same thing. Oh, GTA data, GTA 5 data found, importing, your character as a, like you said, potentially a cameo NPC handing off the reins. Or
I think if our character became like
they're just in the background somewhere as just a wandering NPC. Who knows? They've got a million ways.
That would be really cool to see, is have like a cameo character be like a Lester type character or something like that.
Yeah, like
not even a mission one. They're just out getting groceries one day.
Hold on. They had to relocate to Florida because their house burned down in the San Andreas wildfires.
Damn it.
And then in the opening cutscene, they get blown away by a hurricane.
Our condolences to the individuals affected by the California wildfires. I know it's never like the best thing to make jokes about, but you gotta make light in some serious situations. And I want to just specify that out there. There's no ill intent.
Void just said, "Oh my God." Hey, look, I am sorry for making that kind of joke, but again, our hearts, our thoughts and prayers and our hearts and minds go out to those affected by the natural disasters in California and in North Carolina.
Yes.
But we are also the type of individuals that will joke about it just because we want to try to keep soft heart. We want to be soft-hearted about it, and try to make, if we can make somebody laugh by the jokes we make, hey, that makes somebody's day a little bit better. So if you hear us joking about stuff like that, please do not get upset with us. We don't mean to try to offend anybody, but that's just the jokes we make. I mean, it is what Godfather is working on and why he is missing the pod.
Yeah.
Godfather just said House of Voids, it would be at least cool if they had a final mission to close GTA 5 that takes.
Oh my God! Like servers shut down, the world's fucking it's a war zone over in Los Santos. You gotta get out while the getting's good or some shit like that. That'd be pretty cool.
This was the biggest, and this was the thing that I talked about in the final mission for GTA 5 Online, where the cops finally figure out everything you did. How many times? Hold on.
Figure out. We work with the cops and federal agents. We are technically a federal agent. I'm just pointing that out there.
I know, but how many times you robbed the casino, or how many times, everything like that. And then they're like, all right, get them. And then your final mission is to escape San Andreas. And that is why our online character is in GTA 6.
That would be awesome. But what would also be funny is you get caught. Your character's getting caught and they're sentencing you. So based off how many heists you did, how many people you've killed, innocent people you can, all that is how many charges you actually get. So it's you are sentenced to 1,000 consecutive life sentences. And after such a time as when your sentences are up, your soul will be sent to hell. It's just something like that would be very funny.
I really want to I wish they had that on there where you how they've got your stats and everything.
Mm-hmm.
We did that in the beginning, Void. We already incorporated our guest. Or I
We
think
did.
she means, I think she means by letting him talk.
Oh,
It,
I pipe
If
in when
you
I
wanna
have things to say.
I was gonna say, if you want to talk, just tell us to shut the fuck up. Unlike
Yeah.
Fireball, who doesn't
See,
apparently.
now,
I mean,
The one thing I have to say about GTA Online is
I
with
almost called
being able to
Tungus
redo
Godfather.
the activities so often, they've got to get to a point where you just walk into the casino and they're like,
We know you.
all right, guys, Jimmy's back for the 80,000th time. All right.
Open
He's
up
got
the
rubber
vault.
bullets this time, guys. Just go play dead for a while, let him get his money, and we'll get on with our day.
But like, like I said, I want to know. I wish they'd have like a stat sheet where, like, how you see how many times you've been wanted, how many cops you killed. I want to see what your jail sentence would look like.
that's something
like-
that would be really cool to see. I'm not gonna lie.
And
That'd be
then
like-
you wake up in an insane asylum because it was all just a madman's dream.
oh Lord.
Oh yeah,
I
that'd
do
be
have, speaking on the GTA news a little bit, not to like super shift gears or anything like that, but something I've been paying attention to for a little bit is a GTA-like game, but it's sci-fi. That's why I've been keeping my eye on it. It's called
Did you mean
Mind's Eye.
Cyberpunk?
No, it's called no. That's definitely more like Saints Row than anything. If I'm gonna compare.
Hey,
Um,
Saints Row is good stuff.
Saints Row is really good stuff until they tried to reboot it and fucked it up.
Yeah.
But Mind's Eye is it's gonna launch June 10th. So if you like the style that GTA 5 is in terms of like the open worldness and that type of shoot 'em ups, this is that but sci-fi. So give it a look and loot. See
You know
if you
what
like
we
it or not.
haven't had in a while?
What's up?
We haven't had a good like horde shooter game.
Yes, we have
What's that?
Space Marine 2. Dark
Oh yeah,
Tide,
that's right. And Helldivers.
Killing Floor 3 when that launches,
Oh, speaking of Helldivers, because I just thought about this.
and also Helldivers.
So there was something like the American government had brought something up to the developers to Arrowhead. They were like, "How were you able to brainwash and incorporate like everything?"
I have
Hold
the
on,
answer.
hold on. They're like, "How were you able to get so many people to get on board with just the mass killing in the video games?" And like, how did you brainwash them? And Arrowhead's like, "I don't know what you're talking about. We're just a video game company that made a game."
I have the answer.
What's that?
Space racism.
Yeah.
You think I'm joking? The whole thing of like mankind was made to inherit the stars is so real, and I've seen it with being a part of the Warhammer
Well-
community now. It's insane. Of like, you are not made in God's image. You will be purged, you heretic. Type shit. For real, for
Well,
real.
and
No,
it's like,
seriously, they're
again,
not
look-
human. Kill them.
Wouldn't
Space
that be
racism.
space zealotry then?
Yeah, I mean, it's Warhammer is definitely more on the zealot side of things, but like with space or Helldivers, it's definitely like a
Well, look at Halo. I mean, there were actual there were
on.
actual slurs made up by the gaming company for the Covenant. You look at someone and you just say, "Shut the fuck up, split lips," and then you win the argument.
split jaw, but it's okay. It's all right. I get you.
Split lips.
Split jaw.
Or,
Anyway,
like-
slur-
or hold on. Or you get in a
derogatory
fight.
term.
I remember playing on Halo Reach, and it was so funny because like you could get into an argument with someone, look at their profile, and if they chose elites over Spartans, you could look at them and just be like, "Okay, elite preferred species."
Just derogatory. It's crazy because that's been the one thing I've always talked about within like just society as a whole. You can unite people if you give them a common hatred for something, and nothing brings people together like we're all humans. They're not. Kill them. Every single sci-fi game you see it in. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's always people like choosing to be humans fighting aliens. They love that shit. People love that. The indomitable human spirit will always trump over everything.
Yeah, I will agree with you on that. It's so great just to like, again, Warhammer, Halo, Helldivers. If it's not,
XCOM.
if it does not look like
Oh.
human and it does not have two legs, it's dead.
Mhm.
Or The other thing is hating on robots.
Are they human? No. that's all you put up the card. Human, okay. Not human, not okay. That's all you gotta. That's it. That's the card is.
So it's the friend shaped versus not friend shaped, and
Yes.
apparently
Yeah.
it's 2 arms and 2 legs and a head is the requirement here.
Mm-hmm. Hold on.
Bipedal featherless.
said-
That's the requirement
oh.
for friend shaped.
Well, then the robots would be friend shaped.
Not all of them are.
Automatons,
Yeah, but
Yeah,
not all
right.
of them are friend shaped.
fair.
Some of them have more arms or
No,
other.
Void said
shield
it's a
arms.
space that you don't have to censor yourself and can be true. World of Warcraft, Horde Alliance, and then also the races.
I mean, if you want to get technical about it, you go back to the old Halo, like they were talking, and the human versus Covenant. You don't even have to get into the original Halo. Red versus blue. They're not the right
Yeah.
color. They're done.
Wrong color. Kill that guy. Oh my god.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Don't even go there, Chungus.
What? He's blue. He's not blue. Kill him.
And then you get into the shades of red and blue.
I'm
It's
a
not
fan
pink,
favorite
it's
of
lightish
of
red.
Lightish red. Lightish red.
You knew where I was going.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we all knew where you're going with that.
Apparently, yellow's also red. I get it on that same level spectrum.
Yellow's a red?
Yeah. Griff?
Oh, that's orange.
He's not orange. He's like a yellowish
No,
orange.
Griff is orange.
No.
Griff's sister is yellow.
No.
Yep.
No. Hold on.
Yeah.
Griff
Am I
is orange.
colorblind?
His sister is
Wait,
yellow
hold on,
because
hold
she's
on, hold on,
colorblind.
hold on. Am I colorblind? Hold on. Hold on.
And then
Yes.
Doc is purple because
No,
neutral.
he's
red and blue.
a fucking yellow pale. He's a pale orange. Fuck. He's a yellow.
He's
It's
still
yellow.
orange. He's
It's
still
yellow.
orange.
He's yellow.
Void says 2-1 majority wins. Fuck you. He is orange because Simmons. That's the thing is, so
Oh.
Griff is orange, Simmons is red, Sarge is a darker red. Then you've got Donut that's pink, and then you've got Doc that's purple.
And nobody likes Doc.
No, yeah, but that's the thing is, Doc is purple because Doc is a mixture of red and blue.
Right. He
He helps out both sides.
because both sides are technically controlled by the same
Mhm.
corporation or governing agency.
Freelancer, yeah.
No! Shit.
Suck it, Blue.
I'm
Colorblind.
a little bit.
I could have
A
told you
little
that.
A little
I mean,
bit.
like, I won't ever forget the first time I watched Halo or watched Red versus Blue, just the beginning. Hey, yeah. You ever wonder why we're here? Why are we here? That's just one of life's greatest mysteries. No, why are we here in a canyon? There are just 2 buildings. Yeah, that was always like, I knew this was gonna be a great show.
Old Rooster Teeth was like top tier. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, that's the thing is now that Bernie Burns
They're
owns the
coming
rights.
back, baby.
Yeah, Bernie Burns owns the rights to Rooster Teeth again, and just rebought all the old rebought their old warehouse in Texas. Dude, Rooster Teeth can be making a comeback. I'm so happy about this.
The only thing is at last I knew he still does not have the rights to any IP that was owned by an individual at the company. Like Achievement Hunter was Jeff's thing, so it's up to him if he decides he wants to bring it back or not, and that's not part of the Rooster Teeth umbrella at the moment.
Right. Yeah, I get that part. But like, you know how many times I loved watching Halo fails of the week, where
Oh,
Jack and Jeff were just sitting there talking about all the clips. Those were great to watch.
a lot of them are still great to watch just to go
Yeah.
back. You
Mhm.
wait 4 or 5 years, you've forgotten everything that happens. You could just go watch them again.
Or not even that. Like there were so many episodes that you obviously haven't watched them all. So you're gonna
You underestimate how many of those I've watched.
you are getting really quiet, Chungus.
Ah!
Because he keeps raising the microphone every time he messes with his glasses.
Well, it's been here like around here the entire
No,
time.
it hasn't.
It was not down here for
Yes,
sure.
it was.
Leave it down there.
Leave it down there. We can hear you better.
Is this better?
Yes.
Okay. I'll just do it like this so you can really just hear everything I'm saying and enunciating.
Good.
See, I would just like to point out that both of these chuckleheads have to have their boom mic on. I don't have one.
I could go steal. Hold on. Well, that's because you have a fucking Yeti mic.
Yes, I do. It's right there.
Exactly. We had a mic, but apparently it's broke now.
Working on getting new ones. That's why. Yeah.
I wonder who did that.
Good one.
Broke it.
Let's keep it a buck with everybody. It was a $20 mic.
Fair.
It was a $20 mic that lasted over a year. So I mean, take it as you will.
We got our money's worth out of it.
Absolutely.
$1 per hour.
Exactly. Definitely got more than fucking 20 hours worth out of that thing.
Yeah, that was very good.
I did want to speak up on
for hardware. You want a little more than $1 per hour, but yeah.
I mean, we are kind of
Starfield stuff that I want to talk about.
I thought we weren't gonna bring it up now that God
I'm bringing it up for the sheer fact of there's no more excuses. We have devs speaking on the fact of the ex-devs from Starfield that are speaking on the fact of why the game is as shallow and lackluster as it is.
Okay.
It's just a simple fact that Bethesda getting bigger, so they're bogging down their devs, not letting them have as much freedom to do things. Like the examples that given from this dev.
Are you talking about Starfield because you miss God's father?
No. Nate Turkey Pyle, apparently is his name, was dev for a while. But they don't have the amount of freedom that they used to, like specifically going back to Skyrim with things like the werewolves and Blackreach and anything like that. A lot of the stuff that was added from the devs' freedom. They had freedom to do what they enjoyed doing, and they created these things to put into the game that legitimately, if you look at it, it would be missing something if these aspects were gone and not from to the game. So with Bethesda as a whole getting a tighter grip on their devs and hey, you got to work on this and this only, specifically this, don't deviate from that. It shows, and I know we've all played Starfield, and it does show that there's definitely a lack of freedom, and it makes sense.
The big thing that came from Starfield, and this is why I felt like it was so shallow, is they struck. Starfield came out after 76, and they struck out and missed so hard on 76 that I think they made such a base, very vague game, was just so that way not only could they start something new,
they tried to be safe.
Yeah, they tried to be as safe as they could with the game, and because of how safe they were with the game, it's why it was so boring.
I mean, legitimately, just not giving your devs the freedom to create, to do their passion.
Between a labor of love, which the Oblivion and Skyrim obviously had in spades. People did what they were doing because they loved what they were doing, and people who have shown up, been micromanaged, and just corporate grinded a game.
Starfield, yeah, and that's something that it always comes back to when we're talking about creating a video game. Is there are companies and developers out there that create video games for the love of the game because they love their job and they do what they do, and then you have other games out here that it's basically just it's a job to them. They want to make money. They want to just try to make as big of a profit as they can, and then 2 or 3 years down the road, it has no player count because they already made as much money as they could from the game and discarded it.
There's also the issue that it's kind of industry standard in game development that your art team and a lot of your developers, they're contract workers. They're not actual employees. So once the game's done, they get the boot, and then those are the same people that are building, oh, we think this needs a little flower pot over there, so we're gonna put one together and stick it in the corner and just make it look good. But once you've got those people out, the next guy that comes in may not be the same guy, and he may not have the same intuition for interior decorating or spatial allocations, and that hurts too.
And this is like, so Void said, the reason why Starfield was so safe is they were afraid to fail as bad as they did with the launch of Fallout 76. And I think, and that's something that with Void saying that is a nail on the head, is they were really afraid to fail. Especially, they lost. Didn't they lose money with 76 at the beginning?
Yes, with a lot of their cancellations of pre-orders and things like that.
A lot of the refunds.
A lot of refunds as well, because legitimately, when you don't deliver on what you're saying you're going to be deliver on, from a gameplay, even from a game creation aspect, it's Bethesda. They're not going to deliver on their promises 100% of the time anymore. However, the biggest thing, the biggest thing for me about 76 and the launch for the pre-orders was what they promised in the pre-order bonus that you got. The actual true to form, the shit you got physically was not what they promised. That is in the lawsuit. I'm not gonna lie.
I got some more comments real quick. I got to get through before we. Godfather. No, I mean you ain't here really to defend it, so we're gonna finally speak our truths. He said you are talking down on quote unquote game of the year.
Is it game of the year?
No.
No, exactly.
And then
what awards did it win at the any award ceremony? 0? That's crazy. That's crazy.
But Void said they also didn't read the room of the games that were coming out at around the same time.
Starfield? No, I'm gonna be honest with you. Starfield is a great concept. It
the only thing
that would make a great game. It just, I say everything. It had the base there to make a great game. It just fell flat.
The only and I will I know we're kind of I apologize because I'm trying to read the comments and as they come, so I'm flopping around back and forth. 76 in Starfield. Void said 76. The only thing that made 76 palatable was the people that she met and played with.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's
fine.
I will tell you guys flat out, I would not be sitting here if it wasn't for Fallout 76.
Yeah. And even then, you had to play the cards right because Godfather almost deemed you hostile.
The number of the circumstances we bumped into each other in game. Instead of just opening fire and attacking each other, we were in area of voice so that we could actually communicate. We just got to talking, and it was it was that standoffish stuff. Hey, what are you doing?
And that's hold on. This is something that I love because they brought it in Modern Warfare. The new Modern Warfare 2 was
proxy chat.
Voice chat, proxy chat. Yeah, proximity chat. So many times you'll meet somebody and y'all become friends because they force you to use proxy chat, and it's like you learn. You're like, hey, this guy's funny. This guy is fun. I'm gonna friend request him.
Games that do that, like specifically in the PC market, like DayZ or Arma or anything like that, where you use proxy chat is a thing, is so great because you could be out and about, specifically DayZ, and trying to survive and things like that. You come across some stranger and you get to talking and become buddy, and you either they betray you or you betray them or what have you, or you be friends or anything like that. But the interactions that could be had because of that is such a unique thing, and that's why I'm like, again, Bethesda's, they have great concepts and great baselines for what could be great games, and we see that with 76 now. If they had if 76 launched as it is now back in 2018, oh my god, they would be rolling in money, one, and then two, legitimately, I think Bethesda would be held in a higher standard right now. I feel like they would be releasing more content for 76 and not had released Starfield early. Things would be a lot different if they just took the time. God, just take your time. Take your time, but hurry up. I can say at the same time, I guess, this is what the statement is. I don't want them to hurry up. I will wait 10 years for Elder Scrolls 6 to come out. I say Skyrim 6. I mean, it's going to be, people are like, Skyrim 2. I hope they go back to Skyrim. I want them to. I'm not going to lie. I really enjoyed the setting of Skyrim.
Yes. Void says, are you saying I need to play 76 again? There's a lot that's been added to 76, and I will say it is so much better, and I would love to play it again if I had. And again, the only reason I say this is
make it cross-platform. Don't stop making
Yeah.
games not cross-platform. God damn it! I want to play with everybody. Stop it, please.
I would so get back into 76 again if we could get the group playing again. If we could actually sit down and play 76 again as a
I have
group,
it
I would love
on
that.
2 platforms.
I have it on PC,
PC
now.
and PlayStation.
I've got it on PC. The problem is you guys for this console generation went Xbox. I do not have an Xbox.
No, we have both.
They have both, yeah.
So as long as you guys are rocking PC, let's do it up.
Yeah, we'll have to talk to the spider. I haven't talked to him in a while. Well, I mean, him and I send TikToks back and forth to each other, but Gonzo, I haven't talked to Gonzo in a long time.
Both him and Maggie, they've been busy doing their thing.
Life.
Well, I know.
Molly? Who's Molly?
Kitty talks to Maggie all the time, but
Oh, you might have
Me
been
and-
trying to say somebody else.
yeah. And then I talk to Gonzo a lot. So I mean, we honestly need to if we do get back into playing Fallout 76, it'll probably be on PS5. Just because we have disc. Are you able to play it PS4 to PS5 too?
I'm not sure.
Should be able to. It should still just log into the same servers.
Okay, so then I mean we've got like 3 different disc copies.
Because it's not technically a PS5 game, it's still a PS4 game, it just backwards compatible.
Right, right, Voids. But what I'm saying though is we could hook up PS4. We could hook up our PS4s again, and those who have the 5 can play it on the 5, and those who have their 4s can play it on the 4. I guarantee you, the PS4 Pro is about the same level of working matter as just a normal PS5 is. And that'd be something for Chungus to pipe in on because
It's not. It's not. The 5 is better, but marginally. Being able to access up to 60 frames is pretty decent, though. That's the biggest.
yeah, that's fair.
Textures won't matter too much.
If you're a frame
mainly
rate
the
snob.
Yeah. If you're, I will say this now. I used to not be a frame rate snob. I'm still
And then I
not
went to
a
PC.
degree.
No,
But
I
then-
became a frame rate snob
More
once I
specifically-
went to PC.
More specifically, anything above 60, I don't care. If I can get 60 frames at 144 refresh rate, I don't care. The game's gonna look great regardless. Anything above that is overkill. I'm just gonna say
But
that.
like, and I will say this because I'm an old school like RTS player. So playing Command & Conquer, you can only get 30 frames.
Mhm.
So I've been playing at 60 to 120 frames. Going back and playing on 30 frames, I'm like, oh my god, this sucks.
Again, once you get to 60 frames, that's where there's an actual difference. Anything above that is, but who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares?
Listen to both of these children. I grew up watching VHS tapes where it was 24 frames a second.
Whoa.
And
Whoa, you're acting like we didn't watch VHS tapes.
Come on,
I remember I had this one like Scooby-Doo VHS tape, and then like halfway through it switched to Dexter's Laboratory.
when you were what, like 3 and then you got DVDs?
Hey, actually I was 5, get it right.
The first DVD player I actually owned, and I didn't even own it because my mom owned it, was the PlayStation 3.
I was gonna say, did you get it from the center?
That's
Yeah, that was
fucked up.
not
No.
my first DVD player because the PlayStation 3 was like $700 when it launched. It was
That's what I
really expensive.
That's what I got for Christmas, and then I never got another present again. I'm joking, by the way. I'm joking. It was a very expensive gift, though.
You know, but yeah, it was. We are at an hour.
And it doesn't even feel like it.
No, it doesn't.
Mm.
But I guess.
I did
also
have one
wanna-
bit of news before we log off. Don't you dare! Don't do this to me.
You're
It's about
gaslighting me.
Assassin's Creed. It's about Assassin's Creed Shadows.
Okay.
They have hit a couple more milestones, or I guess, milestones. A week after its launch, 3 million players, registered players. And by the way, again, it's not on Game Pass or anything like that. So these are 3 million people who have bought the game. That's pretty decent for in the first week. After its first week. Additionally, on top of that, highest concurrent Steam player peak, for the series as a whole. Biggest day one PlayStation Store launch.
Really?
They'll say those numbers are middling.
Oh, for Assassin's Creed, that's pretty decent, actually.
Hey,
I'm like, hey.
We just recently had a
Void,
game
hold
come out
on.
with 1 million sales, and they said that was disappointing. So
Hold on. Voids wants to know what are the reviews coming out on the game.
The game it's coming out as mixed, and a lot of the issues people are having is like, it's not historically accurate. Black guy in Japan, feudal Japan. You know, it's a lot of that. It is mixed reviews. Some people don't like certain aspects still. But
most of the Steam stuff, the negatives were all graphic issues.
Yeah.
And again,
Which I don't understand because I think the game looks great. Legitimately, I just love.
It's beautiful.
I love Ghost of Tsushima, so like it's just like Japan is beautiful.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, Japan as a country is just a beautiful country, and every single time they make a video game about it, they manage to encapsulate the beauty of Japan wildlife and nature.
And that is 98% of the reason that I bought the game. Is because I wanted to run around in Japan again.
I will say the parkour is a little iffy sometimes. Other than that, though, I think it's still great.
I guarantee it's still better than what I can do in real life.
Oh yeah.
Same. My back hurts just thinking about it. I'm not gonna lie. The amount of rolling that happens. Oh my god.
No, but yeah, that was I love it. However, we want to take it out now, or do we want to keep going?
It's up to you
I'm
guys.
good either way.
Yeah.
I think we're
Fireball, it's up to you. You choose. You decide.
I think we're gonna take it out.
No, there it is.
All right. So with that being said, keep it on. No.
Nah. Just
Chungus the Ninja.
My ninja.
That's only funny because we were watching a TV show earlier.
You could say we watched the Boondocks. People know about it. You don't have to like, who is the secret TV? No, it's the Boondocks. Come on now.
But no. I will say, because there are some things. Wow, just throw in the towel fireball. Hey, I bought a Lego set today that I want to work on.
He wants to build his Legos.
Leave me alone, okay? I met my contractual obligation. I want to go build my Legos.
You want some cookies and a fucking glass of milk while you do it too?
Yes.
What you don't realize, it's already spread out on the table in front of him. He's just resisting the urge to be down like this the whole time.
Yeah.
If he would, if he could, he would. I'm not. He would. He absolutely.
But no, I will say this going forward, because I wanted to just kind of make this known. With Godfather is going to try to join in periodically when he can, but with the workload that he's got right now, he probably won't be able to join us as often as he wants to. So during Saturdays and it's when he's readily available, but Saturdays Crustwider will try and join us. Just that way we could keep the kind of like the trio going, so it ain't just two people talking back and forth, kind of like what Forum Friday was supposed to be, but we're all very busy individuals, and by we, I mean me. Because I know if I were to say we're busy individuals and he ain't got shit going on, he's gonna throw me under the bus.
I'm not gonna lie with you. I've been making myself busy on Fridays. The nice weather has, as they say, inflicted change.
But when it comes to our Tuesday or Wednesday episodes, House of Voids or Kung Fu Kitty will be joining us. So we'll try to have a little bit more of or incorporation of certain people coming in. And then
that's not always a guarantee. I will say it's always not always a guarantee.
That's not always a guarantee
because
either.
their schedules are their schedules, and life is life. We'll
Mhm.
try to make it work, and if we can't, it's okay. You'll still have myself, and I'm looking through the wall at him. And Fireball. Thanks for making eye contact. Yeah, I do see that. You see this?
What is this? What is this?
You know exactly what it is. It's the same thing
Yeah.
I'm doing. I'm gonna put it on screen on three. Put it on screen on three.
Yeah,
3,
1, 2,
1.
3.
Just looking you off over there.
And if all else fails, they can always holler at me.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're not available, it's We'll be
Yeah.
sad. But okay, you know, it's all right.
The show must go on. But you know, doing thoughts around the Shire.
Yeah, you
I don't
take
really
some.
have. I have been working on it, but you haven't given me the full screen.
It's okay. It's all right. Long-winded. You're okay. You haven't said you're ready. So you know.
Chungus.
You ready? Are you ready? I've asked so many times. Are you ready?
Yeah, now that you're topping out your mic. All right. With that being said, still normal streaming schedule. I know I seem to be only streaming on Tuesdays, but once I get more going on, or once I start having more stuff planned out, maybe stream for a little bit longer on wow, I can't speak. Why? I feel like I'm having a brain aneurysm. But with that being said, Tuesdays are going to be the normal stream day. If I have anything else going on, we'll probably either stream Thursday, maybe Wednesday. It just all depends. But I don't really have anything else besides that.
I got nothing other than I appreciate you guys giving me the chance to pop in and sit down and chat with you. I don't stream, so I got no news on that. Usually find me around Discord, though. If for some reason you want to chat at me, all you got to do is holler.
So somebody may have forgotten to upload yesterday, and by forgotten I mean I got too tired or distracted. Let's just
No, you didn't get tired.
Yes,
you didn't get
I
tired.
said distracted. I changed it to distracted because
Okay.
Fireball and I started playing fucking Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3, the backwards compatibility on the Xbox, just playing it, you know.
2008 and 2010, not this dog shit we got earlier.
Not the dog shit remakes. We're talking about the fucking old one, the OG ones. It was fun. I got a little.
Yeah.
Got a little
Godfather
distracted.
says, sure, he got quote unquote tired.
Yes. Tired of winning. No, it was bad. I'm not gonna lie. I fucking couldn't complete a match. It fucking internet. Like fucking.
Yeah, you kept getting lagged out. It was
Dude,
so fun.
every single time I tried to play, it was I lag out. You know what? I'm going along with it. Let me stop doing it. Anyway, I got distracted. That will be uploaded today, and then the special surprise video that I've been working on will also get uploaded today. Don't you worry. You'll have today. Fuck,
I mean,
Saturday.
the other armor one?
No, there's somebody didn't pay attention. Of course, the armor one's getting uploaded, but then the special one's also getting uploaded.
Oh, you mean the Space Marines one?
We've done that one. He doesn't pay attention, and that's okay.
I know. I'm just
Anyway,
trying to
videos will
spoil
be
it for him,
uploaded.
but he's being
Videos
he's
will
being
be uploaded.
he's being really good poker face about it. But
He
with
just
that
tried
being
real hard to bust his balls.
yeah,
He has.
yeah. But with that being said, thank you guys for joining the Nomad Gamers podcast. We'll see you on Tuesday. I'm signing out.
Get to make one. You know what?
I guess that's it for me too.
I want you got to come up with one now. Kaiser Chungus. Ciao.
Well, they've abandoned me, so I guess Zanar Crest Rider signing off.